Hello, my name is Allison Bauer, and this is my video audition for the waiting room. Today I will be giving you two contrasting monologues. The first will be from The Sign of Jonah by Gutenberg, and I will be portraying the Queen of the South. The second will be from a play entitled Late by John Perovich, in which I will be portraying the part of Miranda. A short while ago, in this very room, grave accusations have been leveled against me. No one is happier than I to find that the true circumstances have been brought into the open. The higher one's position, the more painful the fall, if fall one must. We have heard the accusations of the father, the accusations of the mother. What are they compared to my own sufferings? The mother lost her child, the father, his family and home, but I, as sovereign, lost an entire country, my capital. Rich, happy, golden Babylon collapsed into rubble and dust within 1 hour. Once rulers of the earth paid me homage. Here I must suffer accusations of harlotry and wickedness. Yes, I ordered the furnaces built. It had to be. I was compelled to do it. My position demands that I lead my people. Give them laws to preserve order among them, for man left to himself is chaos. In order to preserve these laws, I had to be severe. I was forced to kill in order to preserve life. I get it. Okay? You're a writer. It's your profession. Gives you an edge, but a person can't handle all that affection you give off in your writing, not in talking. I think we can both agree that you fumble through a lot when you're talking, but Luke, the things you write, a person can't handle. What am I supposed to write back? How could I even compare? It wouldn't even be enough. Stop. I already know what you're gonna say. You're gonna lay on that thick encouragement, which is sweet. It is sweet. It is so sweet. Your encouragement is literally cavity-inducing. So you're going to tell me to write anything, Miranda. Write whatever you want. Write what you're blah, blah, blah. Luke, the way you support me is oppressive. Each word you write is like a rock being thrown at my head. Why are you throwing rocks at me? Thank you. So to address the two questions in which you asked us, what's the most moving experience you've had as an actor or an audience member? Well, it was actually when we were running The Sign of Jonah in college. It was a very small studio show, you know, not a lot of budget, things like that. One of our theology professors came to see the show because it deals a lot with God and humanity and this kind of juxtaposition of the two and this peace-laden message that the Bible brings, and yet this kind of war-ridden world we live in. So a lot of it has to do with humanity blaming God and God blaming humanity for the destruction of mankind. So it delves into a lot of theological ideas and whatnot. But anyway, so our theology professor came to the show and he was very moved by it. He asked if we could perform it to his college, to the theology college. So of course we said yes. Another chance to perform. So we were doing our performances, and there was one night we were feeling really good, and during intermission our stage manager came back and told us that there was a very specific professor there tonight, in which we all got a little nervous because this professor in general was very, very strictly agnostic and voiced his opinions quite harshly on the idea of faith and humanity's part in it. So we went through the second act and everything was fine. We had a great show, and afterwards that specific professor asked if he could speak with the cast and the head of the theology department and the pastor who was there that night. So we all went into our kind of dressing room area, if you could, and through slight conversations, this one professor had told us that he was so moved by the play that he had wished to give his life to Christ in. I'm, by no means a very heavily religious person, but one of the things we're taught as actors is there is this idea of cathartic, ethereal emotion that we emote or we feel when we go to see these shows, that's supposed to, not turn a switch, but have that same kind of habit. And to see that our show had done that for this person in that way was really amazing and really astounding, and I was really moved by it, thinking that this is kind of the culmination of our training to allow people to express that catharsis and to feel those things and know that it's all right. So that was a really amazing experience for me. And then of all the people you've worked with, who do you look up to the most and why? So again, in college, I had the amazing experience to work with David Barker. He's a very amazing fight choreographer here in the Valley, as well as director, actor, mentor, you name it, he's got it. But we were doing the Chronicles of Narnia, in which there was a lot of fight choreography, and so he came in and he taught our entire fight choreography for the show. But one of the things that I really loved about him is he could tell that we were in a learning environment, so he slowed himself down to enable all of us to be able to learn how to do things properly and efficiently, which was a really big thing for me, and I use a lot of my training that I've learned from him in my everyday. But it really shed some light on a really interesting time I was going through at that point in college. A lot of our professors and a lot of our directors expected certain things from us that we hadn't learned yet, and were somewhat perturbed when we couldn't fully give it to them without training and coaching, as you should do in an educational setting. So to see somebody come in and really take the time to slow down and work on the history even, and what different swords were and how they were used in battle, just like the very, very little minute details that someone would have passed over, he was so sure to make sure that we knew every single thing. And at the end of it, it was an amazing experience, and the outcome was breathtaking. And to this day, I still try to implement a lot of what he taught me, not only in my stage combat, but also in how actors should be treated in an educational and in a professional setting. He really taught us like adults. And he really treated us like adults, but he never demeaned us or looked down upon us. He was very much our equal, and it was very refreshing. Thank you.